Facebook responding to allegations that a company connected with the Trump campaign misused information on 50 million of its users.
Well, then why didn't you just bully him on Facebook or Instagram like any decent human being?
Guess what the day is?
Hump day.
If I was in a shark attack and then they had no anesthetic and they had sewed up, I'd be like, this sucks. But then if two DJs came in to interview me, that's it, I'm done, man.
Let's get this radio show started.
It's not bro time, it's show time. Are you guys ready?
Red Wolf Roll Call Radio.
God, here we go again.
Why don't you go find a corner to hide in? I'll get to you later. I don't want to have to deal with you now.
Houston, we have a problem.
So crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up here.
Go ahead. Make my day.
There's something schooly around here.
It's getting bigger by the minute.
Pleasure overload.
You should never be allowed to talk to people.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click, get in there, talk about www.call me, you got them naked chicks on there, man, you go click, 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 it's real easy, man.
Hey, how you doing?
Never fall in love with a musician.
Damn, that boy can sing.
Must be cool.
That boy is good.
Good and terrible.
The following program contains material not suitable for children, adults, or childish adults.
It's showtime, folks.
Red Wolf Roll Call Radio.
Good morning and welcome to RWRC Radio. We're fueled by Flash Market. JC, Uncle Walls coming to you live from the Stadium Auto Body Collision Center studios right here on ESPN Jonesboro 92.7. Ritter Communications, Tubetown, Channel 21, and, of course, all across the planet on our website, redwolfrollcall.com, and the RWRC radio app. It is a Wednesday. It's a Who Better Wednesday, and we're going to let you guys make your requests and, of course, say who better. Fleetwood Mac, first on deck, and their opponent you will hear coming up in break number 1. But, yes, it is a Hump Day Wednesday. Our Back in Action hotline, 870-330-0927. Superior Lawn Service text line, 870-372-RWRC. That is 7972. And you can always reach us all across that Rhino Car Wash social media sideline, Twitter, Instagram, and the Facebook. Yes, it is the Facebook on this lovely, lovely Who Better Wednesday. Coming up on the show, of course, we have plenty to talk about in the world of sports. And March Madness begins again tomorrow. You know, the dramatic pause kind of gets on my nerves, Walls.
Really?
It does, but I get it. I mean, they need breaks.
Right.
when you think about a basketball season, most of these teams are playing, Saturday, Thursday, Tuesday. Give them a couple days off and then let's roll again. Like, get this thing hopping again on Tuesday or something. But it gets back underway. Sweet 16 action starting back tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. But also, it's kind of creepy, Walls. You and I were talking, and I didn't know this until moments before getting back on the air.
Right.
The bombing in Austin.
Yes.
I don't think we need anybody to tell us or remind us that the world is crazy. I don't think we need that. But when it hits close to home for me,
well, yeah.
It's once again just kind of a wake-up call in what's wrong with this world. My daughters believe that I am like one of the most overprotective people that exist on the planet, and I am. You ever want to see me get fired up? Mess with my kids, and I promise you.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound like I'm some kind of BA, but you'd have to kill me. I'll just tell you that. You would have to kill me. And so when I find out that my daughter was in Austin, Texas yesterday.
And all this crap was going on.
And luckily they had just gotten back to where they're staying. My daughter's on spring break with a friend. And they're going to multiple places in Texas. And just so happens my daughter was in Texas yesterday in Austin.
Right.
And so, man, I tell you, this is the first time that my youngest has ever been away. Like, and me or her mom not be with her.
She's on her own.
And so it's kind of, obviously her friend and family that they went with are great folks, and I had no problem with them going. But the controlling side of me, it was hard for me to let her go, and then I do, and then here's this,
right.
And of course, it's a little bit of a startling revelation. And I find this out right before, because, obviously I knew that they were going to go multiple places in Texas and so on and so forth, but timing is everything. And it's just weird that the timing fell as it did. And so I'm just happy that my daughter's okay, and I feel bad for everybody that's having to deal with that there. And the coward-ass dude who did it, well, he took the easy way out, if you will. But anyway, it's just a big wake-up call, man. And it's crazy. I was in Little Rock last night for Bon Jovi. And the coolest thing about Bon Jovi last night was the fact that I didn't realize that one of our loyal listeners, a longtime friend of mine, G, was a member of Bon Jovi's band.
Really?
I did not realize that.
Wow.
On the percussion, backing vocals, chimes, cowbell, all that. I did not realize he was a member of Bon Jovi's band. And then I seen him, and I took several pictures and videos, and I was like, dude, when were you going to tell me? And he seems to claim that that's not him, but there are others that don't believe him.
Man, I want to be him because, man, I mean, talk about someone who can multitask. He has time to sit around and listen to us and then tour the world with Bon Jovi.
Yes. But anyway, Bon Jovi just, it's just all right. I mean, for a guy who won a talent show in 5th grade, singing Bon Jovi, and now to look at, Walls, we have talked about this before.
I know where you go with this.
We have talked about this before. It has been brought up on all that other stuff.
Yeah.
That you and Bon Jovi are the same age.
Yes.
That's kind of looking at like a
and the next thing is which one's in better health.
I looked and I went, this dude's 56. Wallace Jackson Jr. is 56.
Yes.
Wallace, you need to get whatever Bon Jovi's getting. But he is fully gray-headed now.
Yeah.
Like full gray. Like he ain't coloring it or nothing. He's rolling with it.
But I will say this is that when you were in 5th grade singing Bon Jovi, you probably sounded pretty good. Unlike, Propane Mark out there who thinks he can sing as good as Earth, Wind and Fire.
Terrible.
And also, I've got a new nickname for Propane Mark.
Do you now? Propane is already chiming in on the Spear Lawn Service text line, by the way.
You ready for it?
Sure.
Now you've heard of Ron White.
Yes.
And but this is what inspired me was for Propane Mark. But we're gonna start calling him Sweet Tater.
Sweet Tater? I'm not calling another dude Sweet Tater.
Sweet Tater.
I'm not calling another dude Sweet Tater. You can call another dude Sweet Tater if you want to, but I'm not.
Tater salad, tater tot. Now we got Sweet Tater.
Our man G chimes in and he says, "You're stupid, Biscuit." He calls me Limp Biscuit. You're not the first person who's called me Limp Biscuit. I can tell you that. I've been called that many a times. My old band members, all of them, that's who they call me, is Limp Biscuit. So that's all good. I'm telling you, when I seen the dude's moves while he was doing cowbell and the tambourine, and I was like, holy cow. Now, I've seen them moves back at Club Red.
Tambourine? Now, man, you talking about you got to have some skill.
Hey, but this dude did tambourine and maracas at the same time.
Get out.
And wind chimes.
Get out. I'm done for the day. I am done for the day.
And for some reason, my man G is taking this as an insult.
I'll see you later. I've seen it all. I've heard it all. A guy who could do the maraca, tambourine, and the wind chimes all together at the same time?
Yes.
Get out of here.
I'm not kidding you. Not kidding you.
Man.
And I've seen them moves before. Club Red, all the way up through the Electric Cowboy.
Next thing you know, you'll tell me he was playing the auto harp.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that. But anyway, yeah, it's not an insult. He said, did he backspin and moonwalk? Then that was me. Actually, the dude had some serious moves.
Did he really?
I promise you. I was like, whoa. And I'm telling you, if you seen him and not necessarily his facial features, you were like, That's my dude, G.
Ah.
Same size, everything. I mean, bald.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. I was like, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy. He took it as an insult. I'm like, dude, who would take that as an insult being a part of Bon Jovi? I mean, they're going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway. Plenty to talk about on the show, and this is our last show of the week, by the way. I made the executive decision. So this is kind of like our free-for-all Friday on a Wednesday.
Well, if you can already kind of tell that we're just at a point where we don't really give a crap right now, that's the reason why. Because today's Friday for us.
It is Friday for us, so this is going to kind of be like a free-for-all Friday on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And we've determined it's the last day because you know what? I'm tired of hearing about everybody else on spring break.
Well, I mean, we could line up a bunch of interviews today of people that probably bored to death. So
I've decided it's time to take a little break.
Right.
And if you call having business meetings the next 3 days a break, then that's my spring break for you. So anyway, we gotta regather ourselves and get everything ready because spring football starts next Tuesday.
Yep.
And when that starts, that makes our days a whole lot busier. And so we got other stuff that we have to do that are first of the year stuff that we've got to get done before we get into spring camp, and the next 3 weeks or so are locked down. So anyway, so this will be our last show of the week, and the next 2 days you guys can, I don't know, listen to some people that maybe know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So anyway. But anyhow, well, let's get ready to get this party kicked off and rolling as we always do. Get into your game day forecast. Of course, it is brought to you by Safe Light Auto Glass, and it's always followed up by all that other stuff. And, you know, all that other stuff like finding out that Uncle Walls and Bon Jovi are the same age. Let that marinate. One of them has highway miles. The other one has a lot of in-town hard miles on them. Y'all can guess which one. Safe Light Auto Glass.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Julian with Safe Light Auto Glass.
So you think all auto glass companies are the same? Only America's largest gives you the reliability of this Safe Light advantage. It's what makes us different, with over 5,000 mobile glass shops in all 50 states. So we're always nearby, and the only national lifetime guarantee, keeping you covered wherever you are. Make the safe choice.
Just ask your insurance company for Safe Light or call 800-800-2727 or go to safelight.com.
Well, better yet, call the local number I've got it here for you, 972-4797. Give them a call today. Set up that appointment, and either, like I said, you can bring it in or they'll come to you. They'd love to come to you. It doesn't matter if you're at home or you're at work. They'll come out there. They'll fix that rock chip or that total window replacement. It's that simple. They'll also take care of the insurance for you at SafeLight. All right, let's look at your game day forecast brought to you by SafeLight. High of 54 today, low of 34 tonight. Going to be partly cloudy to sunny today, and really for the next couple days. Looking at Thursday and Friday, highs in the low 60s. Weekend comes, temperature jumps up to the 70s, but rain and thunderstorms move in. And looking at the extended forecast for the weekend and all next week, look like rain is going to stick around for most of that time, but the temperatures will stay in the mid 60s during that time. In the queue today, we got a chance. We'll talk a little A-State bowling, also some A-State golf, also A-State baseball. They played game one of the series last night against Missouri. Game two is today. We'll talk a little bit more about that. All right, going to all that other stuff. We're going to start with Elvis. We're going to end with Elvis today. On this day, 1958, Joel Elvis Presley was sworn in as a private to the United States Army. Appreciate your service to our nation,
yes,
sir.
Yes.
Also on this date, 1980, on the TV show Dallas, J.R. Ewing was shot. Dun, dun, dun.
And who shot him?
Some old skank.
Wow. You don't talk. She is a nice lady. She is a nice lady. I don't care that she turned you down back in the day.
But anyway.
In your flight attendant days.
Okay, on this day, 1985, you'll enjoy this one. Boy George said in Women's World magazine that he would never settle down, get married, and become a father.
Liar.
On this date, 1989, Madonna releases her Like a Prayer album. It included a number 1 and 2 number 2 singles on that album. And finally on
I really like that song, actually.
Yeah. And also on this day, 1990, Black Velvet by Atlanta Miles hits number 1 on the Billboard, stays there for 4 weeks. It was a song about Elvis.
She was a looker, too.
She was. But I guess that was really probably her only hit, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as hits, some people's definitions of hits are way different, but yeah, that was it for her.
But anyway, that is it for today's All That Other Stuff.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, Wallace, we got to get ready for a break here, as we always do. Get ready to come back and get into your Calmer Solutions hot topic of the day. And, people are wondering who the opponent is for Fleetwood Mac. And this one only made sense.
Okay.
It only made sense. And Walls, I was able to uncover some stuff out of the vault. So, we'll be fine. So this one only makes a little sense. My mother, a huge fan of Heart, a little Heart, Fleetwood Mac.
And Nancy Wilson.
Yes. Calm down over there, killer. Calm down over there. Don't get your ticker too fired up. We don't have the defibrillator here today. 1118 RWRC Radio. We're fueled by Flash Market. We're live in this man cave, otherwise known as the Stadium Auto Body Collision Center Studios, right here on ESPN Jonesboro 92.7, Ritter Communications, Tubetown, Channel 21.
But try to understand, try to understand, try to understand. I'm a magic man. Winter nights we sang in tune, played inside the months. Never let this spell last forever. A summer lover passed to fall, tried to realize it all. Mama says she's worried, growing up in a hurry. Yeah. Come on home, girl. Mama cried on the phone.
This segment has been brought to you by Rob Taylor State Farm, right across the bridge from Centennial Bank Stadium, Tomlinson Kell, and the Convocation Center. Just look for the big red roof right there on Red Wolf Boulevard, or call Rob Taylor State Farm today at 870-520-6161 for a free quote on life, home, car insurance, and more. That's Rob Taylor State Farm. Disruptive may be just another overused buzzword, but disruptions in business like network downtime, data loss, social media abuse, and slow speeds are downright disruptive. For businesses large or small, Calmer Solutions offers powerful, affordable, yet customized solutions specifically for your business to prevent disruptions and simplify IT. For consultation or to try any of their solutions risk-free for 30 days, visit calmersolutions.com/disruptive or call 870-336-2169. Calmer Solutions is a proud supporter of Arkansas State University.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Julian with Safe Light Auto Glass.
So you think all auto glass companies are the same? Only America's largest gives you the reliability of this Safe Light advantage. It's what makes us different, with over 5,000 mobile glass shops in all 50 states. So we're always nearby, and the only national lifetime guarantee, keeping you covered wherever you are. Make the safe choice.
Just ask your insurance company for Safe Light or call 800-800-2727 or go to safelight.com.
By now, two things that you have invested in is your house and your automobile. You take pride in your home, you keep it clean, mow the yard, the general maintenance stuff. Why don't you show the same love for your automobile? Yeah, that's right, your automobile. Why are you neglecting it? It's time for you to repair your relationship with your automobile. Give it love, give it Rhino Car Wash. Your car will love you for it. And now you can show your love 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Sunday. 4 convenient locations in Arkansas: Paragould, Searcy, Cabot, and now 1840 East Highland Drive in Jonesboro. They proudly provide service through an express tunnel wash with free vacuums. And remember, membership has its privileges at Rhino Car Wash. Pick from 3 monthly memberships and wash your car anytime and as many times as you want. Your car loves you, love it back at Rhino Car Wash.
It's Michael Steele for United Pawnbrokers on G Street right across from Sonic, where we sell more guns than anywhere in Northeast Arkansas. And why is that? We have the best selection and the best price, bottom line, at United Pawnbrokers. At United Pawnbrokers, you'll always save more money. If you're looking for a special duck gun, a special deer rifle, that special pistol, or an AR, come to United Pawnbrokers on G Street across from Sonic. You'll find what you're looking for at the guaranteed lowest price. United Pawnbrokers on G Street across from Sonic.
Teamwork, the combined effort of a group of people, especially when effective and efficient. That definition applies to Stanley & Woodard Law Firm. Dedicated to a process, dedicated to excellence, dedicated to quality, dedicated to an oath. Bill Stanley and Jared Woodard are dedicated to those ideas. ASU alum, ASU letterman, they understand teamwork, combining their efforts to find justice for you, never taking shortcuts. Stop getting the runaround and start getting results. Whether you're looking for representation regarding personal injury, civil litigation, DWI, criminal defense, wrongful death, or nursing home abuse or negligence, you won't find better representation in the greater Jonesboro area. With a combined 35 years practicing law, Stanley & Woodard Law Firm delivers the respect you deserve. Stop the frustration. Start the process today. To make an appointment, go by Stanley & Woodard Law offices at 326 South Church Street, or give them a call 932-2000, 932-2000, or log on to StanleyWoodard.com. Respect, results, relief. That's the Stanley & Woodard Law Firm.
For over 35 years, only one lawn service has served Northeast Arkansas and their valued customers like no other. With great products, great customer service, and a company that you can depend on, Superior Lawn Services stands alone. Weed control, fertilization, and shrub and ornamentals care have been their signature service. Now, they've added another product line to help customers here in Northeast Arkansas. Perimeter Pest Control, Flea and Tick Control, and Mosquito Management Program. These are their newest services to their lineup. Applications to your yard can eradicate these insects immediately, and scheduled follow-up visits can keep these pests away for good. Let them install a misting system you can control from your phone to give those mosquitoes a 1-2 punch. With no worries and no insect bites, get back to the outdoors with a trusted company and a member of the American Mosquito Control Association. Superior Lawn Services can make your yard look beautiful in no time. So get out there and enjoy your yard again. For more info about their services, go to SuperiorLawnServices.com or give them a call, 870-932-1195. Say bye to fleas, ticks, insects, and mosquitoes for good. Let Superior Lawn Service use their 35 years of experience to make your yard your kingdom.
This is Tegan, and you're listening to Red Wolf Roll Call Radio with my dad, JC, on ESPN Jonesboro 92.7.
Well, it is a Who Better Wednesday here on RWRC Radio. We're fueled by Flash Market. We got to be fueled by something. It might as well be Flash Market, and it has been that way for years.
Years.
Flash
Market. Oh, that's a gas station.
Yeah.
Well, also they got coffee. Some people fuel for coffee.
They do. And a lot of people say it's maybe the best coffee they've ever had that you can get at a convenience store on the go.
Right.
That they have the best coffee. I'm not a coffee guy.
Right, I'm not
So
either.
I can't judge it. But I've had plenty of people tell me that is a great cup of joe. And I'm like, well, you can also have a cup of joe. But just saying. I talked about the bomber to start the show, and Uncle Walls and I are talking about this, and obviously it's an awful thing. 24 years old, Mark Anthony Condit of suburban Pflugerville. But when he decided to take his own life, he did so in Round Rock. And see, it just keeps getting more weird for me because that is actually where my daughter is staying right now.
Right.
The bombings happen in Austin. He does himself in Round Rock, and of all places for my daughter to be on her first time ever away from myself or her mom, she's there. And I'm not going to lie. I had a little anxiety when she left on Friday night. I had a little anxiety. I was like, no. But I was like, no, pull back, Dad, let her go.
Yeah.
And it just makes me wonder, why did I have all those feelings? Life's crazy, man. Hug your kids. Hug the ones you love, man, because you just never know.
Yep, that is correct.
You just never know. Folks are darn crazy out there, man. I'm telling you. Back in action, hotline 870-330-0927. Superior Lawn Service text line 870-372-RWRC. That is 7972. And as always, you can reach us all across that Rhino Car Wash social media sideline, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook on this lovely Who Better Wednesday. As you've heard now, Fleetwood Mac taking on Hart. Our man G chimed in gonna act like he don't know music as being a member of Bon Jovi.
Right.
He was like, don't they have that song Barracuda? I used to kill that on Guitar Hero. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they do. As a matter of fact, just for you, G, in the spirit of your great performance last night at Verizon Arena, I will play Barracuda next.
Well, the other thing, too, is Ann Wilson wrote Magic Man because of me.
Right. She said he was there, and then poof, he was gone. That's the story of his love life. She said he promised a full-fledged magic show, and boom, it was over.
He's the magic man.
Yes. The problem was she was like, but how can a magic man have a wand that small? Anyway, time to get into your Calmer Solutions hot topic of the day.
This is a good one.
And it's hump day, but this is our free-for-all Friday because, again, if you're just joining the show, we're off the air the next 2 days. We've got things to do behind the scenes. You can say it's spring break if you want, but work is involved. And anyway, but let's get into today's hot topic of the day brought to you by Calmer Solutions. Time now for the Calmer Solutions hot topic of the day. Calmer Solutions 1805 Executive Drive is the new location. Business owners, there's no reason to hire an IT department. Just call Calmer Solutions at 870-336-2169 or find them on the web at calmersolutions.com. Time now for the hot topic of the day.
It's time!
All right, your Calmer Solutions hot topic of the day on this lovely Who Better Wednesday. And lots of voting already happened on our Rhino Car Wash social media sideline. AState football.
Yes.
It has been announced. They have added Michigan to the 2020 schedule.
Going to the big house.
Which one of these historical stadiums would you like to see AState football visit next? And we picked 4 because Uncle Walls and I, we started going back and we're like, yeah, been there, gonna be there, yada, yada, yada. And so we picked 4 stadiums and programs that are what you would deem blue blood programs.
Right.
One of them's kind of sketchy as far as what I would deem a blue blood program, but their stadium and the environment is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So, Notre Dame.
Touchdown Jesus.
Florida State.
Doak Campbell.
Ohio State.
Horseshoe.
And last but not least, Wisconsin.
Camp Randall.
And you will hear House of Pain blaring loud and clear.
Mm-hmm.
Little jump around. And right now, it's a runaway vote on a Rhino Car Wash social media sideline on Twitter. 79% of the votes want to see Arkansas State taking on Touchdown Jesus, the Golden Domers of Notre Dame. 14% Camp Randall, Wisconsin. 7% Doak, Campbell, and Florida State. No votes for the Big Horseshoe yet.
And the thing is, I saw that announcement this morning, $1.8 million to play that game.
And that's the way it's going to continue to trend, because here's the deal. The deal is, at this point, that it's going to become harder and harder for the P5 programs to schedule G5 programs, because they got them right where they want them. With the way scheduling is trending, they're going to have programs like Arkansas State, which you would deem the upper tier group of 5 programs. They're going to fall into that category. I mean, this upcoming season, I promise you, is certainly going to wake people up. But Notre Dame, I'm down for that.
Yeah,
I'm definitely down for that.
Well, and the other thing too is that this is 2015, and we had gone up for the Toledo game, which was a night game, and we didn't realize, but we're just right down the road from Ann Arbor. 30 minutes, and so you went online, got some tickets for a really good price, and so that afternoon we went up to Ann Arbor and caught Michigan and BYU. Now, people say, well, what kind of atmosphere? I mean, 100,000 people, wasn't that just, freaky? And I was like, well, we've been to Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, and that's 100,000. And, they had 90,000 at the LA Coliseum. I'll just say this is the layout at the Big House. It's a nice layout. I mean, it has a nice flow.
It doesn't go like really high up. It's more of a wide span, the way the stands are. And we got really good tickets. I mean, we got really good tickets thanks to what seemed to be probably a Michigan season ticket holder.
Yeah.
I got online the night before, and I got us. I mean, we were, I don't know, 15 to 20 rows from the field.
Yeah.
I mean, we were in a good spot considering that's a 100,000 plus stadium. And to be able to go there was pretty cool.
I will say this, people, if you do decide to go to that game.
Well, for those that complain about parking here at Arkansas State,
you knew where I was going,
and how much you pay and how far it is, you go to the Big House. And if you're going to make that trip, just be prepared. I mean, Uncle Walls and I felt like we walked 18 holes of golf before we ever got there.
And we did. Because we were on the very south end of the golf course, which is on the south side of the Big House. Pay $20 for parking, but I just put this in perspective.
We were probably, the reality of it is, 1.5 to 2 miles away.
I was going to say, to kind of put this in perspective for people to understand it here, it's like parking at the mall at Turtle Creek
and getting to the stadium.
Yeah.
It's about like that. That's about how far, and that was $20.
Yes.
That's what $20 got you. And so, anyway, but looking forward to it. Looking forward to have a different vantage point this time when we go. But $1.8 million.
Right.
It's the beauty of it is athletic director Terry Mahadra has said, he calls them, training games.
Right.
But, trying to only have one of those on the schedule each year. Like this upcoming one, it's just this tiny little school you probably never heard of.
Well, people ask us,
Alabama.
Yeah, why did we sign that game with Alabama? And I said 1.7 million reasons.
Yeah, and now this one's 1.8.
Yeah,
even surpassed that one. And so T-Bow's out there getting bank at least for when these games have to happen.
The Nebraska game this year was 1.65.
Yep. So an escalator scale, as you can tell, it's going up. And so, anyway, well, we got a couple calls on hold here on the Back in Action hotline. So let's go first and let's talk to our man Jeff. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today?
It's hump day. It's our final day of the week. We will not be on the next 2 days, but we're not too shabby.
I got you, man. Well, you went to Trim Gym earlier, man, and had to. You're running your Rebel from Mark, man, and y'all couldn't even get a workout in, JC.
Oh, yeah.
Mark.
I didn't realize that he was a workout guy. I mean, I do realize he always wears workout clothes wherever he goes. He's ready to work out no matter what. But I just thought that was an easy access thing. But anyway.
Well, I told him, man, I'm gonna send him over to Planet Fitness, man. All right.
Well, I tell you what. I'll tell you what. Let me schedule a time for you to send him over there. and just it will be the complete opposite time that I'm there.
I'll tell you what, though, JC, you're talking about Michigan, and I'm going to talk about Michigan's basketball program for a minute, and John Beilein. I don't think he kind of gets the credit he deserves, man. He kind of goes under the radar, and year in, year out, he has Michigan, really competitive, fighting for a Big Ten title. He did a good job at West Virginia, and I think he's a very underrated coach, man.
He has done a good job, and when you look at Michigan right now, I mean, they've got a pretty favorable side of the bracket. I mean, as the 3 seed, you got Gonzaga and Florida State squaring off in the top part of that region, but they get Texas A&M. They get a 7 seed to get an opportunity and punch a ticket into the Elite 8. So, I mean, honestly, that's a favorable position for Michigan, and they've got an opportunity to get there. I personally have Gonzaga in my Final Four in that region, but certainly, hey, a freshman hits a dagger of a shot at the buzzer to send them on, but hey, it don't matter. They're on to the next round.
And JC, I see a lot of teams when they win a game like that, they seem to kind of build momentum, and it kind of carries them. So I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan, if that didn't carry them to the Final Four, when you get you win a game where you're pretty much beat, and that can kind of give you momentum, and you kind of just build on that,
No, there ain't no doubt. There ain't no doubt. And you see it time and time again. If you look back at some of the previous national champs, they've had a game where they've been tested or they've pulled one out in the end and have rode that momentum. And you think about last year, if you remember this, I don't know if you remember this, Jeff, but last year is when they had the issue with the airplane.
Yeah, that's right.
And they, you think about in the, I think it was the Big Ten tournament, that they had that issue, and they ended up having to play a game in practice jerseys.
Right.
And then they carried on into the to the tournament, and they had some luck before it finally ran out. But, I mean, Michigan has been getting it done.
They have, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Ain't no doubt about that, man. And, with ASU playing their football team, I think it's great, man, to go up there and, a Big Ten, play against a Big Ten opponent, and I'm sure the atmosphere, going to be great. And I think it's great, and I kind of like what the AD doing, Mahajer is doing at A-State, cutting them down to one game, like that, one big game a year, and that that kind of gives you a chance. You play one of them big schools like that, and 3 winnable games gives you a chance maybe to get crack that top 25 at the end of the year.
Well, and you got to have, I mean, just, when you look at an athletic budget, you've got to have at least one of those games. But, it's always going to be early in the schedule. I hate to bring this up, but another Sun Belt team long ago, before they were in the Sun Belt, as a matter of fact, they were, on their way up at that point and had not made the jump to Division I, but Appalachian State, they went there, and you see what happened, and that's something they still talk about
even to this day.
To this day.
Remember the Michigan game?
They don't forget that, and I always will remember it because I was on my way, ironically, to Austin, Texas, that day, listening to it on the radio for Arkansas State in Texas, and that's the same day it happened in Arkansas State. If it wasn't for a blown officiating call, beats Texas that day, and of course they issued an apology letter the following Monday, which absolutely meant nothing to Arkansas State at that point. But no, it's you got to have them, and your best opportunity to upset somebody is the beginning of the season.
And the other thing too, if you want to be factored into one of the New Year Day bowls we talk about and have that invite from one of the G5s, you're going to have to win a game like that. And of course, last year we picked up a check for $1.65 million from Nebraska, and we're
a fingertip away from winning that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Really outplayed them most of the game, to be honest with you. Just couldn't quite, finish it at the end. I watched that game and just outplayed them most of the game. Just didn't quite, put them away. I mean, they played really well that game against Nebraska.
I told Walls that, looking back at that game signified the Arkansas State season. That game was the one that got away, and it just felt as if after that game, then the following was the letdown of Miami not coming to Jonesboro, and it just felt like that was a season-long hangover. And I told him, I said, looking back at it, you think about that, what would have been different had Kendrick Edwards come down with that touchdown in the back of the end zone, or several calls that happened were different. I mean, that game was very winnable and should have been the win. And I remember talking to Coach Anderson sitting in there in postgame, and he said that was a game we should have won. We were the better team, and we should have won that game. And I just think back on that game as a reflection of how the season kind of went through and ended, that you just think about that game, and it kind of summed it up.
And the funny thing about it is, I remember a couple weeks later I was talking to Blake, and he's real good friends with Mike Riley, who was the head coach at the time with Nebraska, and he told me, that Riley gave him a call. He said after he went back and reviewed that film, he just said basically, he said, y'all outplayed us on every facet of the game, and y'all deserve to win that game.
Yeah, you're right, and I agree with you. And I know we got baseball. Major League Baseball was going to start about 2 weeks.
8 days.
8 days. Okay.
8 days.
8 days.
Well, and I did want to tell you, Jeff, I didn't want to be the one to break this news to you, but the Padres are already mathematically eliminated.
You're probably right.
Oh, wow.
Hey, I can use that on somebody. It's only been used on me my whole life.
Yeah.
You're probably right. That's the reason I'm putting all my stock in Arkansas baseball this year. That's all my stock is in that, and I don't expect us to be good. I tell you what, if we don't finish last in the West, I'll be happy with that.
Well, and be careful putting all your stock in one barrel, all your eggs in one basket. Be careful about that. Hey, the thing that baseball has shown us, Jeff, is that the script can be flipped at any given time. I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't sure that I would see the Houston Astros win a World Series. I wasn't sure that I would ever see my Chicago Cubs win a World Series. And it has happened. So you think of that. Just let that marinate. You look at the Houston Astros being the defending champs. That in itself tells you, hey, man, you just never know what might happen.
And baseball's a different sport than, basketball and even football, because you can be bad one year and then the next year you can be, competitive. It just, it's just a whole different, it's a whole different game, because I've seen that happen, what was it, probably 2 or 3 years ago, the Astros were in, dead last place in their division, and 2 or 3 years later they won that, so I mean, baseball's where you can't turn it around, there's, no doubt about it.
Well, and too, Jeff, think about it. It's 162 games. I mean, you can derail a season, with an injury or two, and the whole season has changed.
Well, look at the San Francisco Giants last year.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's tragic.
Yeah, that was bad, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them be back competitive again this year. I think that was just a bad year and a off year for them. I mean, Uncle Walls, what do you think the Cardinals going to do? You think they're going to, get a wild card? You're probably looking at a wild card this year?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I could see that would be available, because right now, I mean, you look at the best of the National League Central, and I think right now it's the Cubs and the Brewers.
I think personally, and I'll tell you my thoughts on the Cardinals, they're going to have to be in contention come trade deadline.
Right.
I think they could make a move at a trade deadline if they are in contention. But I think, Marcell Ozuna, that's a great ad. Mm-hmm. But to see the remainder of their offseason, it's been really lackluster, to be honest with you.
Yeah. It has. They really hadn't made just a whole lot of noise, which I'm, in my opinion, I figured they'd make, a couple more, big signings than they did. They really didn't. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But I think at best, St. Louis probably a wild card at best.
Mainly, I mean, Mosaic, he said last year, we're going to go kind of with the youth movement, and so basically that's what he's doing. And so we'll see what the young arms will do this year. I mean, and like I said, just the youth movement overall. Now, what's going to be interesting this year is you're going to have Jose Oquendo back out there. And I think, missing him for 2 years did a lot but you look at the coaches they've got, Jose's back, Willie McGee. So we'll see, we'll see if that's the right combination and with the young guys. And like I said, like Joel said, come trade deadline, if you're in position, make some trades. And really right now, just play to get a wild card. Because I mean the cream of the crop in the National League Central is definitely going to be Milwaukee and Chicago.
Yeah, and I think the thing about a wild card, I've seen a lot of times, them wild cards get in, they make a run. So if you can get in,
Cardinals have definitely done that.
A run.
Yeah,
Cardinals have definitely done that.
So that's the main thing. Well, guys, that's all I got for today, and I guess Zach's on hold, so I'm gonna hang over him. All right.
All right, buddy.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Let's head right back to the Back in Action hotline and go from one brother to another. My man, Zach. What's up, dog?
What's going down, wild man?
Can't call it, dude. Can't call it. Just it's a Wednesday, but it's our Friday.
Yes, it is. Congratulations, fellas. You made it through the week. What's up, Uncle Walls?
Just ready to get this day over with and just enjoy the rest of the week.
I don't blame you, man. Hey, I heard Jeff saying there was a freeloader sighting at the trim gym earlier. Tell you what, Red Roof Mark in the gym, I tell you what, guys, he's got a set of forearms that would make Mark McGuire jealous. I mean, massive set of forearms. I don't know what his secret is, but I'm telling you, he'd make Mark McGuire Popeye jealous.
Well, I've heard it's the human shake weight, but there's no clarification of that. There's no, I have not gotten confirmation of that.
Yeah, human shake weight, that's what I heard too. Same thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyhow, we talked a little bit about Penny Hardaway yesterday being hired on as the new coach in Memphis.
Yep.
And talked a little bit in depth about it. But, fellas, I'm always a what-if kind of guy. And I want to go back and talk about his playing days as a pro. And this has always kind of crossed my mind. We know that him and Shaq together had an unbelievable short, brief run there in Orlando. Let me ask y'all this. Had Penny not gotten injured after about 5 or 6 years as a top 10 player, and Shaq, Orlando could have kept him happy and paid him what he wanted and kept him there, do y'all think that they could have had as much success or more than the Kobe-Shaq duo in L.A.?
I think it's possible. I mean, Penny was a great player. You think about some of the injuries that Penny did deal with, and you look back at his career, and I had somebody send this to me yesterday, and in his career he had 17 double-doubles. That's it.
There was a story yesterday, or might have saw it last night, but they were talking about, NBA players kind of what-ifs, and they were talking about Penny, they were talking about Grant Hill.
Well, and that Grant Hill was my immediate thought, comparison-wise.
Yeah, I'd say Penny and Grant in the 90s, definitely. Those two. And then maybe Chris Webber. Of course, he was still able to salvage somewhat of a career after he came back from an injury and had a pretty good, solid career with the Kings in the early 2000s. Underachieved a few times there. But Penny, the thing about Penny, the reason why I ask this is because Penny was a 6'8" point guard, and he was unselfish. His philosophy was make the big man happy, keep the big man happy. And with Kobe, it was never that. It was always, I want to be the best individual player I can be. I want to be the alpha dog. And with Penny, it was never that. I mean, him and Shaq had a good camaraderie. They got along. Chemistry was there. Penny was a more athletic version of Magic Johnson, if you want to go that route. And he was top 3 in scoring there for a brief period while MJ was taking his little sabbatical playing baseball. So I think if those two guys, you got to remember, fellas, when they lost to the Rockets back in '95, they were still young, and Shaq had not hit his peak yet. And Penny it was only his second year in the league. I think they could have won, at least 2, 3, maybe even more than that had they stayed together, because they hadn't hit their peak yet as far as the potential. So I think they would have they very well could have won at least 3, maybe more had they stayed together.
Well, one of the greatest recruiting jobs you've ever seen by a coach, Coach Pete Bell, getting Mr. Hardaway and Mr. O'Neal, otherwise known as Neon Badeau and Butch McRae. That was a hell of a recruiting job that was done there at Western University. The Dolphins were pretty hard to beat. Yeah,
maybe this hire of Penny maybe the red box sales of blue chips will be on high demand in the city of Memphis.
Well, you got to think Little Penny's making a comeback.
Oh, no doubt about it. Got to be. Maybe Chris Wright can get back on everybody's radar because I'm just about tired of Kevin Hart. But anyhow, right quick, guys. I know NBA's got about probably almost another full month of basketball till playoffs start.
Well, right now, just kind of taking a look at it. There are about 10, 11, 12 games left.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hell, that's creeping up on us as we speak.
Yep.
James Harden, your runaway MVP?
Going to be hard to beat him. I mean, they've got the best record in the NBA. You look at what they done. I mean, they stopped Portland's streak last night themselves. 57-14. You look at what James Harden has done. Those offensive numbers, of course, nobody cares about defense in today's time. So he's averaging 31.2 points a game, 8.7 assists, 1.8 steals. You're gonna be hard pressed to take the MVP away from James Harden this year.
Yeah, and I'm not saying this guy is in contention, but Russell Westbrook, 25 points, 10 assists, and 9.5 rebounds a game. He's almost on pace to have a back-to-back year averaging of a triple-double. Amazing. I mean, the numbers he's putting up.
Well, and then, again,
down a little bit.
It brings it up again, Zach. How in the world did OKC not win with James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant? How in the world did they not win?
Probably the biggest waste of talent I've seen. I mean, to make it to one NBA Finals and get your clocks cleaned by Cleveland in a or Miami Heat rather in a less than memorable series, you would have thought that'd have been like a Magic versus Bird, Durant versus LeBron, but it was nothing but that.
In the world of big threes, they were a big three. In the world of big threes, and it wasn't that long ago that James Harden was a six-man.
Yeah, six-man, come off the bench averaging 17 a game, but he's come a long way since then. And, this probably the first time I could probably in recent memory that you've had three guys that played on the same team that have went on to win MVPs.
Yeah.
After they went their separate ways.
And the unsung hero to me of the Houston Rockets is Eric Gordon. Like, nobody talks about Eric Gordon.
Yeah.
All you hear about is Chris Paul and James Harden. You don't hear about Eric Gordon at all, and quietly he's averaging 18 a game.
Yeah, he is. He really is. He's that number 3 option on that team, and he came up big for him last year. And I tell you what, with Joe Johnson going there now, I hope Joe Cool is finally on a team that's a contender. Maybe he can get that monkey up his back and finally make it to a conference finals. Very least. He's never gotten out of the second round, I don't believe. Well, I take that back, JC. When he was with the Phoenix Suns back in the mid-2000s with Steve Nash and Stoudemire, I think they may have got to the finals against the Spurs in that Western Conference and got the clocks clean. But I hope, just for Joe Johnson alone, I'm kind of pulling for the Rockets, man.
Something interesting, too, is R.J. Hunter from Georgia State. A lot of people will remember him from Georgia State's little NCAA tournament run. He's Player of the Year in the Sun Belt Conference, and I seen him the other day, didn't realize it, but he is part of the Houston Rockets. He's on their G League team, and the other night he scored almost 40 for that team. And so you're going to look at him as maybe another offensive weapon that when the playoffs come around, they might could turn to and have him come off the bench because he can get buckets. He's just not, he's not a great defensive player, but who is in today's time. But, he had almost 40 the other night in G League, and he's a guy that they have under their wing if they need to turn to somebody else for some more offense. Not that Houston needs more offense or anything. I mean, you look at them as a team and the way they score the basketball. I mean, they're averaging almost 114 points a game. To put that in perspective, Golden State is averaging 114.9. They're averaging 113.7. Toronto 112.2. And outside of that, the next closest is the Pelicans at 111.7. They can fill it up. They can absolutely fill it up.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Man, on that note, I got to go with Notre Dame for my choice also as far as stadiums to play in. And as far as your matchups today, can I get a little bit of Georgia Satellites Keep Your Hands to Yourself versus Ram Jam's Black Betty, a little bit of Southern rock.
Well, I got to explain it to you, Zach. I got to explain it to you in case you've missed it. Today is just Hart versus Fleetwood Mac, so we can take a request from either one of those.
Oh, damn. What I'm drawing a blank there, man. Hey, dealer's choice, man. Help me out here.
All right, well, we got Barracuda coming up because our man G basically requested it. So a little Barracuda from Hart.
Yeah, I love some Barracuda, man.
There you
nice.
go.
All right, fellas. Well, hey, have a good hump day, and I'll catch up with y'all next week.
See you, buddy.
See you.
That's our man Zach chiming in on the Back in Action hotline. And I think between Jeff and Zach, we talked MLB, we talked college basketball, we talked college football, we talked Penny Hardaway. I mean, we just hit probably 4 or 5 subjects in 2 phone calls.
No NFL.
We did not. We did not strike anything on the NFL front. Second and third wave of free agency going on right now in the NFL, and I'm getting a little bit antsy, Walls. Getting closer and closer to that NFL draft. It's creeping up, just a little over a month away at this point.
Yeah, and well, like
excited.
you said, talked about spring football starts next week for Arkansas State. Then
Tuesday.
Then the following week's going to be pro day. Out there, so
yeah, we've got a busy few weeks coming up, and that's part of our taking these next 2 days off. But it's not necessarily days off; it's things we got to get done that we don't have enough hours in the day to get done.
We're just not going to be on air. Some people think that's all we do. Y'all
we only work 2 hours a day, 11 to 1. According to some people,
turn the switch off. Yeah.
Yes, it's that easy too. Yeah. I mean, it's just that easy. All you have to do is turn a little power on, a microphone on, and that's all you do.
Yeah, anybody can do it.
Yes, anybody can do it. Although, if you've ever listened to other radio, you'll realize maybe just everybody can't do it. But anyway, top of the hour, ESPN Sports Center updates coming up. We skipped an entire break, but we did so to take calls from our great listening family out there. So 1 hour in the books. Hour number 2 just around the corner. And, of course, we still have 5 random facts on this Wednesday coming up, brought to you by On-Q Property Management. Your top of the hour 12:05 update brought to you by NEA Mattress Direct and Furniture. Why pay more to retail store? And we'll wrap hour number 2 up as we always do with By the Numbers, brought to you by International Tours of Jonesboro. And Damn Man Really, brought to you by the Stanley and Woodard Law Firm. All of that coming up next in hour number 2. RWRC Radio, fueled by Flash Market, right here on ESPN Jonesboro 92.7, Ritter Communications Tubetown, Channel 21. We'll get you updated on today's Calmer Solutions hot topic of the day as well. That's it. A little Barracuda for our man G. This segment has been brought to you by the official barber of Red Wolf Roll Call Radio, Ace of Blades. Ace of Blades now in their brand new location, 3227 East Matthews Avenue, right here in Jonesboro. Barber Toby Stoker specializes in men's and boys' haircuts. Open Tuesday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and by appointment only on Saturdays. Gonna ask a silly question here. Why are you paying so much for mattresses and furniture when you can save yourself up to almost 70% off the retail price? Not such a silly question after all, huh? That's right. Save up to almost 70% off when you shop at NEA Mattress Direct and Furniture. Do they have name brands? Well, if Beauty Rest, Nature Sleep, Simmons Platinum, Simmons Silver Hybrid, Serta, Royal Heritage are brand names, then, well, yes, they have brand names. Twin sets starting at $125, full starting at $150, queen starting at $165, and king starting at $250. They're located at 3704 East Highland Drive, across from All Star Music. You can also find them on Facebook at NEA Mattress Direct, or you can call 870-679-9510 or 501-454-5613 to schedule an appointment. They take major credit cards and financing is available. Mention you heard this ad on Red Wolf Roll Call and get an additional $25 off any purchase over $300. NEA Mattress Direct and Furniture. Why pay more at a retail store?
Hey, how you doing? Tony here. Earl. Yeah, Earl. You see, me and the boys, we have recently been relocated to the greater Jonesboro metropolitan area. It's okay. One little slight problem. Me and the boys, we're homesick for some good home cooking, like Mud I used to make. Then we found this 1812 pizza, and it's all good now with me and the boys.
Hey, boss, Tommy 2 Times wants to know what's a grit.
Vinny, I'm talking here.
Boss, I thought my name was Joe Bob.
Vinny! As I was saying, 1812 Pizza, they got it all. Not only pizzas, but they got salads, wraps, appetizers. They even got a meatball sub. It's to die for.
Yeah, boss. Tell them about the meatball sub.
Vinny, you just keep talking and you're gonna be a meatball sub. As I was saying, they got subs, sandwiches, and much more.
Boss, tell them about the wings.
Vinny, if you want my brother, anyways, it's good as mama's. And if you tell her that, I will totally deny it. Vinny, that's my slice of pizza. Put it down. Vinny, put it down. Vinny!
1812 Pizza Company, 2815 Ray Street. Download their app from the App Store and receive $5 off your first purchase. Or you can go online to 1812pizzacompany.com. 1812 Pizza Company. By now, 2 things that you have invested in is your house and your automobile. You take pride in your home, you keep it clean, mow the yard, the general maintenance stuff. Why don't you show the same love for your automobile? Yeah, that's right, your automobile. Why are you neglecting it? It's time for you to repair your relationship with your automobile. Give it love, give it Rhino Car Wash. Your car will love you for it. And now you can show your love 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Sunday. 4 convenient locations in Arkansas, Paragould, Searcy, Cabot, and now 1840 East Highland Drive in Jonesboro. They proudly provide service through an express tunnel wash with free vacuums. And remember, membership has its privileges at Rhino Car Wash. Pick from 3 monthly memberships and wash your car anytime and as many times as you want. Your car loves you, love it back at Rhino Car Wash. In the South, rooting for our favorite team is just that, part of the South. And so is the food. Some say Southern cooking is a religion. And one thing about Southern folks, they can spot good down-home cooking, and they can spot the bad too. For several generations now, Barnhill's Country Buffet has done it right. Down-home, homemade, good old Southern cooking. The way your mama and grandma used to make it. Everything made with that certain touch. Chicken, fish, roast beef, ham, soup, salad, veggies, fresh baked bread, rolls, cornbread, and the dessert bar. Oh yeah, don't forget the dessert bar. Then there's another challenge, picking from their outstanding weekend breakfast buffet. Saturday and Sunday morning starting at 7 a.m. Eggs, bacon, ham, sausage, fried taters, biscuits, gravy, grits, fruit, and even chicken and waffles. Chicken and waffles. Barnhill's Country Buffet next to Hastings and Old Navy in the Caraway Plaza. There's a reason why Barnhill's has been serving folks for generations now. Great food at a great price. Barnhill's Country Buffet.
On the trails, outdoors, and on the streets, Jonesboro Cycle and ATV can't be beat. Great deals on wheels, parts, and accessories. Jonesboro Cycle and ATV. We've got trucks and apparel and gear. You can get it all here. Jonesboro Cycle and ATV.
Come see Jonesboro Cycle and ATV's brand new gigantic facility. 14,000 square feet on Bear Park Boulevard across from the Electric Cowboy. Jonesboro Cycle and ATV, your Arctic Cat ATV, Prowler, and Wildcat dealer. It's the Gone Wheelin' sales event with low financing and rebates.
Only ride an ATV that is right for your age. Supervised riders younger than 16. Each rider must wear a seatbelt and approved helmet, eye protection, and protective clothing. We recommend all ROV operators have a valid driver's license and that all riders take a training course. Read and understand the owner's manual before operation. For safety or training information, see your dealer. Offer subject to change. Not all applicants will qualify. See dealer for details.
Arctic Cat, share our passion.
Affordable fun for the whole family. Jonesboro Cycle and ATV.
And I told my wife, I said, something has got to be done. And they talked me to coming and back in action. And I said, all right, I'll give it a try. I got to do something. I started so bad, it wasn't funny. And they have, it's amazing how they've helped me. He treated me like a friend. And I'll tell you what, I have been telling people about this. And because I still can't believe it.
If you have back pain or neck pain, call my daddy. If you're out of action, get back in.
Back in action, 250 Southwest Drive. Give them a call today, 870-802-WELL. That's 870-802-9355. Or check them out on the web, backinactionofjonesboro.com. Got an opinion? Or maybe you just want to say, hey, how you doing? Hit us up all across the Rhino Car Wash social media sideline on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rhino Car Wash, home of the unlimited car wash, monthly memberships, and the best free vacuums in town.
Isn't the right thing to do? And how can I ever change things that I feel? If I could, maybe I'd give you my word. How can I, when you won't take it from me? You can go your own way. Everything's waiting for you. You can go your own way. Go your own way. You can call it enough.
Well, we thought we'd let a little Fleetwood Mac play a little bit.
Yeah.
Little Fleetwood Mac taking on Heart in this Who Better Wednesday. And it is, in case you're just joining us, it is our Free-for-all Friday. This is our last show of the week. We'll be back on Monday. We might be in studio, but we might be somewhere else. You just never know. You'll have to tune in Monday to see where we're at.
Yeah.
You just never know. We're wild and crazy. And very unpredictable. Yes. And offensive and a lot of other adjectives that you can choose to use. Uncle Walls is calling another dude Sweet Tater on the show. I mean, just let that marinate a minute.
Well, but as I said earlier, Magic Man, you never know where I'll pop up at.
Yes, he and his little wand coming to a theater near you.
Poof.
Yes.
Up here. Poof, I'm gone.
Yes, as your significant other said, he just I don't know. The magic show started and it was already over. I don't know, but 12:09 RWRC Radio. We are fueled by Flash Market. We're live here in this man cave, otherwise known as the Stadium Auto Body Collision Center Studios. And don't forget, tomorrow is 1812 Pizza Company.
That's right.
Our exclusive RWRC special goes on every Thursday, no matter what.
Even if we're not on air, it's still happening.
It's still going on. 10:30 to 2. That $6 lunch special. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
$6 lunch special. Your choice of 3 different sandwiches. Chicken bacon ranch, the smokehouse barbecue chicken, or the chicken salad sandwich. Comes with chips and a drink. Only $6. If you want pizza, well, we can make that happen too. A lunch size 9-inch one topping. Your choice of cheese, pepperoni, or sausage, and a drink for only $6. 10:30 to 2. Dine in, delivery, or carry out. It is available tomorrow at 1812 Pizza Company. Just go on by there and tell them we sent you. And I promise you they'll take good care of you.
You might as well just go ahead and set aside $6 right now.
And a little change. You got to pay Uncle Sam. Everybody does.
Just put it to the side. Save it for tomorrow.
And so, matter of fact, even if you go to their website or their app, you can place the order right now for tomorrow.
That's right. You sure can.
You can place the order right now for tomorrow. It's that easy. It's crazy the technology that works on apps these days. It's insane. Top of the hour update brought to you by NEA Match Direct and Furniture. Why pay more at a retail store is the question. Our man Robert over there has been sending me pictures since we went on air. We said it yesterday.
Okay, you said they got a bunch of stuff in.
Yeah, they did, and he has sent me a ton of pictures of the huge Simmons shipment that is now in store. They told me they were getting 31 pieces, and he has sent me. You've got a new Simmons Gray sectional. Just put it out yesterday. This whole sectional. Keep in mind, a sectional.
Right.
$7.99 plus tax.
Wow. Man.
Put it in perspective, you can't go most places and get a sofa for $7.99.
No.
You get the entire sectional for $7.99 plus tax, a lifetime warranty on the frames of the sectional as well. They've got another huge sectional. It comes in gray or brown, and it's a Simmons. Big old fat fluffy pillows on it. $9.99 plus tax. This particular Simmons sectional retails for $1,800.
There you go.
They got it for $9.99 plus tax.
That's kind of one of those sectionals, you know, the big pillows you're talking about.
Mhm.
You climb up on, turn the TV on, watch basketball, and you
Yeah.
just got to fall asleep.
Something I seen the other day when I was there too, but they got some more in. They've got a sofa, but it's got a reversible chase, meaning you put the chase on either side.
Okay.
So it'll fit whatever living room you got.
Okay.
You know, some people need the chase on the left side. Well, but the ones they're looking at only come on the right. You can reverse the chase on this. Only $5.99 or $5.59. Excuse me, $5.59 plus tax. They got in this brand new shipment of furniture. If you are in the market for new furniture, hey, guess what? Go check them out. 3704 East Highland Drive, right across the street from All Star Music, and let them know we sent you, and they'll take even more care of you. It's NEA Match Direct and Furniture. Wall's updated look at today's Calmer Solutions hot topic of the day.
Kind of a runaway.
It is, and I had a sneaking suspicion it would be like this. Just something about the aura and just everything that surrounds that football program, that stadium. But AState football has added, in case you haven't heard, they've added Michigan to the 2020 schedule. $1.8 million. Michigan is paying Arkansas State to come play at the Big House. And so with that being said, we wanted to ask, which one of these historical stadiums would you like to see AState football visit next? Notre Dame, Florida State, Ohio State, or Wisconsin? 75% of the votes on our Rhino Car Wash social media sideline on Twitter say Notre Dame. Only 10% saying Wisconsin, 9% Florida State, 6% Ohio State. Getting quite a few responses as well over on Facebook. Let's see. David Carnes with a gif of Notre Dame. Of course, I knew Aaron Brodell would chime in. He said, let's see. I was reading here. He put this post earlier. He said, as my father said when we took him to Notre Dame, former mayor Hubert Brodell, this is how a football game should be. Not 1 second of downtime. And they got to do that as a family,
right,
and go to Notre Dame. Big Notre Dame fans as the Brodells. Jess Lowe, of course, says Wisconsin. No shocker there. Mike Johansson, Notre Dame. Bray Brooks, Notre Dame. Easy pick, he says.
Yeah.
Chaperone Woodard, he says Florida State.
Okay.
So,
well, you and I discussed this. You know, we're putting this together, and either you and I have already been there, or Arkansas State had played in some of these places. Because I know there's people out there saying, "Well, what about Texas A&M,
been there,
LSU, Dayton Stadium, Knoxville?" They had played in the Swamp in the early years when Steve Roberts was the head coach. We've played at Miami, like I said. L.A. Coliseum.
Yeah, because Arkansas State did Tennessee and Miami in year one for Coach Anderson.
Austin Stadium in Eugene, Oregon. We've been there.
That was Coach Malzahn.
Yeah. So I mean,
in a high scoring affair,
yeah.
The most points put up against Oregon in that season was Arkansas State.
But Kinnick Stadium, Iowa, been there. I'm just trying to think of all the places that we've already been or Arkansas State has played.
Our man Eric Gilby, he says Happy Valley, which you and I actually discussed that
we did
before we went on air. That was one of the choices. We talked about that.
Now, another place, we had talked about this, but it would be a game where it will be set up, and of course, like I said, it wouldn't be any kind of home field advantage for either team. But set up a game at Jerry's World between somebody.
I could think of two somebodies that could fill up Jerry's World.
Yeah,
quick, fast, and in a hurry. I'm just saying. there are certain two somebodies that could probably fill that stadium up in a heartbeat. Just saying.
Our man Tracy says Ohio State.
I knew he would say Ohio State.
But like I said, that's on
him and his King James version.
Yeah.
Let's head to the Back in Action hotline. What's up, dude?
OH. I-O.
Press
I want to see him play in the shoe, big boy.
Hey, I wouldn't mind.
I've seen a game at Notre Dame, and matter of fact, Al and Aaron were there whenever Mike Bennett and I went there for a game to watch them play Navy in, I guess it was 94, 95.
There you go.
So I was there before the stadium expansion. Touchdown Jesus is something. So either way I'd be good. But now that we're going to play my most hated team ever, I definitely want to at least get a shot to have Ohio State play them as well. So anyway.
Hey, you never know. With the type of money that's being slung around, Preston, $1.8 million for Arkansas State to play Michigan.
That's nice. That's a fantastic payday. Yet another Mahajer special. I love it, man. That's fantastic.
Well, what makes it even better if you walk away from that and you win the game?
Well, we are in conference with the last small school to do that.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this earlier in the show today. We got paid $1.65 million to play Nebraska, and we're one fingertip touch away from winning that game.
And a couple bad calls.
Oh, well, we can't talk about the bad calls on here because people say, oh, y'all don't talk about the officiating. But I will say this, that you brought it up. As Kendrick Edwards was going across the back of the end zone, he was getting knocked around quite a bit.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, man. Look, you know me. You've never. Anybody who knows me knows I don't complain about it. That I'm not jumping all over the refs. Okay, very often. The only thing I really ever jump on the refs about is I think there's too much replay and too much crap going on. I've said some things recently on social media about the fact that the last 30 seconds of a ball game should never take 45 minutes. Okay, now I understand timeouts and fouls and strategies and things of that nature. But my God, man, some of the time they took to make, get replays, everything else, it's just, it's ignorant. So anyway, that's that's my opinion on that. But no, in the case of Arkansas State versus Nebraska, we shot ourselves in the foot a little bit. But I honestly think that officiating crew gave them that game. Still to this day, you'll never get me to think anything else.
It was pretty blatantly obvious, and I'll tell you that was actually a game. That was a game where our sideline got one of those penalties, and it was purely because one of the assistants was trying to get an explanation as to how in the world they picked up that flag, and the response it was given was basically like a shunning, like we're not going to talk to you. And that, of course, set off the sideline. And you look at it and you go, well, how in the world do you pick up that flag? I mean, it was clearly a penalty, but you pick it up. And there were some oddities that day. There ain't no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But you gotta make the plays. You gotta make the plays to win.
Hey, here's the deal. At the end of the day, that's right. You got to make the plays because there's going to be a home field advantage both in the refs and the other when you got the little guy playing the big guy. So if you're relying on getting the calls, then you're in bad shape. Okay, I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand to see it that day, but it was about like almost anytime you'd see any smaller school go to Florida or anywhere else, and they'd start to come up on them. There was always a little ref mistake, and I say that with quotations. That went in their favor. So anyway, it just that's the way it is. You get that advantage. So in order to be the man, you got to beat the man. That's just the way it is. There it is. We roll on with life. But I tell you what, I would love to get paid $1.8 million to go beat somebody. That would be fantastic. And if we got paid $1.8 million to go beat Michigan, Okay, it would be the highlight. It would make me. I mean, I'd be ecstatic. I'd give up drinking for a year.
What?
Okay.
No.
I'm saying it right now. You
Preston.
hold me to it. You can hold me to this
Preston,
right
I'm
now.
recording, brother.
Preston Marcy will give up drinking. We'll give up drinking for an entire year.
Okay, see. March,
No beer, no
March
whiskey,
21st.
no nothing.
2018 at 12:21 p.m. Got
Yes,
down.
it's written down. It has been written, so it is, in fact, done.
Yes, that's it. I mean, if we beat Michigan, I give up drinking for that entire year. From the moment that ball goes up until the next year, say 7 o'clock in the evening, whenever. That's it. I would not drink a drop.
Wow.
That would be. I mean, it's worth that much to me because you know how I feel about this. It is MUCKFICHIGAN. Okay, that's the way that works.
Yes. I know you're a big fan. I know you're a big fan.
Oh my goodness! That's why it's the hardest thing for me to ever admit Brady is the GOAT. Okay, that's why it's hard for me to admit that because he came from Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just telling you, it's hard for me to deal with that. It's hard for me to deal with Jabril Peppers being as good as he is, playing for the Cleveland Browns. And knowing he came from Michigan, but guess what? At least he's on the Brownies now. Man, we finally got him into Ohio, but whatever.
Hey, well, that's the
anyway,
thing, Preston.
that's
Maybe if the Browns continue drafting Michigan Wolverines, they might actually get out of the top 10 in the draft.
Oh, yeah, because that really worked out for us really well with Braylon Edwards.
Oh, Braylon.
Yeah. I mean, that poor dude. I'm telling you what, my wife enjoys it because I'll get on the Braylon Edwards kick every once in a while. I'll see 5 Hour Energy because that was his first contract, for advertisements and whatnot, endorsements. Whenever he got his contract with the Browns, of course we brought him in from the draft, and those first 5 or 6 games, dude couldn't catch a pass for anything in the world, and I'd just be like, well, that 5 Hour Energy drinking, you know what? I said, hell, he's too dadgum jittery to catch a pass. Anyway, that was my thing for him. But yeah, no, it's neither the Ohio State players or the or the Michigan players have really ever worked out for us. Well, no, the truth about it. We did just lose a Hall of Famer. That's killing me, killing my soul. I wish Joe would have. I would have liked to have seen Joe stick around for what he has been going through, for the entire time. But I guess the bumps and the bruises finally got to him. I can only imagine. But it's been a privilege watching that guy in the trenches for all these years. Fantastic player.
Oh yeah.
At least he was a Big Ten player at that, right? So I mean, hey, it's all good.
Never missed a start.
Yeah, it is what it is. I don't know what this Tyrod Taylor thing is going to look like. I'm not. Maybe they are. I mean, who do you think they're going to draft, Joel?
Obviously they're taking a quarterback. I mean, they're taking a quarterback. Tyrod Taylor is nothing but a stopgap. That's all he is. He's a stopgap. But with a new front office with Cleveland, right now it's kind of a guessing game. I mean, you think about what they did. I mean, think about a year ago what Kansas City did, moving up the ranks to go get their guy, Pat Mahomes, and that's who they tabbed as their guy. I'll say this, and I've said it on social media. Some people agree with me, disagree with me, but I personally believe that they should take Saquon Barkley number 1, and if they do in fact want a quarterback at number 4, then so be it. But some people believe that they want Sam Darnold, and the scare tactic there is that Sam Darnold won't be there at 4. And you've seen some trading already in the top 5, and if Sam Darnold's their guy, they're undoubtedly going to have to take him number 1 and lose out on who I believe is the best player in the draft, in Saquon Barkley.
See, I think hands down it's Saquon. That's my pick.
Mm-hmm.
If it's me, I'm going number 1 Saquon. Okay, because if you don't, the Giants are going to get him. Okay, that's just the way of that. I think the Giants. I don't think the Giants draft the quarterback regardless. I think that they would. If Saquon's there, they'll draft him. If he's not going to be there, then we're looking at a situation where they may trade their pick away. Because I don't think they're going to draft. I don't think they're going to draft quarterback, or maybe they get somebody out of the. Maybe they get somebody high-powered out of the defensive ranks. But either way, the way I look at it is, I think, and maybe I'm crazy, but out of the quarterbacks that are out there, the one I want is the kid out of Wyoming.
Really?
And I think he'll be available at 4.
Oh, he's definitely going to be available at 4. He's definitely going to be available at 4. And I gotta admit, Preston, I am a Josh Allen hater. Is how I would fall in. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. I mean, I understand he's got the arm strength and all that, but he could be a less kookier or crazy, Ryan Leaf, in my opinion.
No, I don't. I mean, where does that come from, Jay? What's your?
I think so many people. I mean, you think about some of the guys in the past, Preston, that everybody has fell in love with his arm talent, as they call. I mean, heck, we've had a quarterback in Chicago for years with arm talent and hadn't won jack squat. But Josh Allen, I mean, his completion numbers do terrify me. And everybody says, well, go back to last year where he had his weapons. They still weren't impressive. He gives the ball away way too much. I personally have not believed in Josh Allen. As a matter of fact, I would be concerned with Sam Darnold. I mean, this is a guy who has a tendency to turn the ball over way too much. And if you're doing that at the college level, well, it darn sure is going to be more of a challenge, because it's not like Sam Darnold was playing with bums at USC. I mean, he's playing with NFL talent. And he's turning the ball over. Too many fumbles, too many interceptions. And so, really, I'm going to be honest with you. I said this, and I could be way wrong on this. I could end up being way wrong. But I think the two best quarterbacks in this draft are Baker Mayfield and Mr. Jackson himself.
I'm going to tell you something right now, and this is...
I know you're a Louisville guy.
You know that. Look, and I love that dude. Okay, that man's got my heart. I love me some Lamar, man. That guy's, he's an amazing kid. Considering story, everything else, I have mad respect for his talent. I just wish he would go to doing something else besides being a quarterback. I really do. I honestly think that if Braxton had the intelligence to understand. That, hey, man, I need to go out and try to become a receiver, okay? Then I'm certain that Lamar will probably come to that, decision at some point in time. And I appreciate you saying that about him, but I will tell you right now, I mean, in all honesty, I wish we wouldn't draft a quarterback at all, okay, out of this draft. There's nobody that I like, okay? But I will say this. Allen, if Allen would have stayed under the radar, which I would have loved for him to stay under the radar, okay, and then we could have gotten him in the second round, I would have considered it a victory. The problem is everybody's so quarterback desperate now for the new crop, what's going on, that you're going to have to overpay for somebody. And out of everybody I see, neither Sam Darnold, Rosen or Allen get that for me. And Baker Mayfield to me looks more like Johnny Manziel than he does Russell Wilson.
It's unfortunate that he gets compared to him, and I think it's because of his height and the fact that he's a white quarterback and that he does scramble a little bit. But to me, they are two different guys, and maybe his attitude.
I'm not comparing him because of that. I'm not comparing him because he's a white guy and he's short. That has nothing to do with it. I mean, obviously, I do wrangle the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks that are shorter, okay, I wrangle into two categories. Got Johnny Manziel on the bad side of things, and then you got Breeze and Russell Wilson on the good side of things. All right? And I just don't think you can have distractions. Now, let me say this. The kid's a winner. The kid fires people up. That much I love about him, okay? And I think different from Manziel, he did not have as standout a receiver in his crew as what Manziel had. I mean, everybody forgets
Mike
that
Evans.
Manziel had Mike Evans. Okay, everybody seemingly forgets that. All right, but now my problem is I think I'm gonna tell you something. You don't get a whole lot of second chance with me. Not when it comes down to paying you millions of dollars. All right, when you've been a Dixon Street screw up. You know what I'm saying? And that's where my problem lies. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I seemingly can go down Dixon Street, spend $150 without ending up in jail. Okay, or more. So I mean, I just don't understand. That to me is it's garbage. And I mean, and the guy's attitude is both wonderful and toxic at the same time. That's where I've got my problem with him. So if I put him anywhere near Manziel, it's just because that's the side of the scale I'm going towards. I'm not saying he's Manziel, because Manziel at the end of the day was way overhyped. We thought way too much of him because he had an all-pro wide receiver on his hands that could reach up and grab a lot of things. And during his pro day, who did he have to throw to? He had Mike Evans. Did he throw during the combine that year? No. Okay. Why do you think he didn't? He didn't have Mike Evans with him. I will say, I mean, Mayfield is impressive. I'm telling you what, when you talk about Ryan Leaf, I worry more about Baker Mayfield being Ryan Leaf than I worry about
Preston,
Josh Allen.
Let me say this. Let me say this, because I get your concerns off the field with Baker Mayfield, and he has an edge to him. But I will argue that a quarterback with an edge, if you can wrangle him somewhat, is a beautiful thing. And I will tell you, there was a guy who haunted my Bears for years that I would compare more to Baker Mayfield than even Johnny Manziel. See, people compare him to Manziel for a list of things, but the short white quarterback with an edge who's gonna be cocky, who's gonna do the stuff at midfield, that's why he gets the Johnny Manziel, collar on him. But I compare him more to the way that he interprets the game, the way he goes outside the box in the game, and the way he does throw the football. He reminds me a little bit more of Brett Favre.
Yeah, no, he's a slinger. I mean, look, the guy walked into the shoe this year and trounced Ohio State's defense. And we all know Ohio State's defense was pretty dadgum good, okay, at the end of the day. I mean, they were and Oklahoma walked in and whooped them like yard dogs. So, I mean, I'm just telling you, I believe in the kid's talent. Don't get me wrong. Okay, these intangibles for a quarterback, the guy's got to have a head on his shoulders. All right? He's got to have a relatively decent head on his shoulders.
What are the other options? We've talked about this last week and the week before on the show, and I see this on some of the national shows. But with Cleveland, the 1 and 4, there's the other option of them with the 6 picks in the top 6 or the first 65 is to trade down and get Barkley, get their quarterback, and do something with either the Colts or the Giants. But I don't see them doing that either.
The only thing that I would say, Preston, this is what I'm going to say. Since you have a love affair with Josh Allen, my suggestion would be first. If you get to 4 and your phone undoubtedly is going to be ringing off the hook at 4, I think you could trade back into the 10 to 15 range and still get Josh Allen and add a gaggle of picks and get some real. I would not take Josh Allen at 4. No way would I take Josh Allen at 4. But if you can get him 10 to 15, then okay. But I think you can get Saquon Barkley, the best player in the draft, and then trade back for Josh Allen.
Yeah, no, you and I are on the same. You and I are on the same wavelength. And matter of fact, to get really into it, I would say I would go one step further and say that if he's available come round 2, go ahead. But there's quite a few nice little pieces out there that you could grab with the number 4 pick or trade back and still grab some very, very nice pieces in 10, 11, 12, and not a quarterback.
Well, it's funny you say that.
No, I'm with you on this 100%. But I say to pass on Saquon Barkley would be would be a huge misstep.
I'm glad you're saying that because I got brutalized for saying that.
But, you know...
Oh, no. Let me tell you something, okay? Any of you guys can brutalize me all day long. All right? Saquon Barkley is a once-in-a-life... You know, he's a once-a-generation guy, okay? He really is. He's that... I mean, he could be that good. The problem is that Saquon will probably disappoint us because he doesn't reach the Hall of Fame type heights in the first couple seasons that we think he's going to. But the guy is going to be amazing regardless. And anyway, I'm big on Saquon Barkley.
Well,
big on Saquon
another
Barkley.
thing, another thing you just said this a minute ago about other pieces out there before you go get another quarterback. And I think we're all in agreement, Barkley, number one. But now they talked about that Cleveland might look at going after Chubb out of North Carolina State because they feel like he's the best pass rusher in the whole draft. After him, it drops off a lot.
Well, they talked about putting him on one opposite end of Miles, and what I believe could happen, and I do believe this, depending how Cleveland kicks this party off at one. If they do go Barkley, okay, cool. I could see the New York Giants going ahead and pulling the trigger on a quarterback. They do have Webb sitting behind. They have Davis Webb sitting behind Eli, but they're also, a guy who grew up being a lifelong Giants fan, Quentin Nelson, the guard, the can't-miss all-pro guard from Notre Dame, who my Bears have talked about numerous times, is there. I could see that. But what I could see, and this sounds crazy, Preston, but if now with the Jets moving up, undoubtedly they are moving up to 3. They made that trade with the Colts to move up to clearly get their quarterback. I could see if Chubb makes it to 4, I could see my team and your team making a swap for 4 and 8 because the Bears really, really, really have a deep need for an edge rusher. They haven't really addressed it. Aaron Lynch is kind of a stretch in free agency.
I'm not trying to bring up old wounds here, but do you even have any picks left to trade me?
Yeah. No, there's capital. You got capital. Because there's always future picks, Preston. There's always future picks.
Yeah.
There's always future pks.
Yeah,
and you can get those things back because obviously if they're that much in love with Bradley Chubb, as a lot of people compare, obviously you see what Solomon Thomas did a year ago. Everybody had the Bears taking Solomon Thomas a year ago until they jumped up and got Trubisky. Everybody thought Solomon Thomas was going to be a Bear. That was a given. Well, they didn't get him, and they still have yet to really find that edge rusher. It wouldn't shock me at all, man. It wouldn't shock me at all. But it's going to depend on what happens in 2 and 3, whether or not the Bears may look to go up. And then, obviously, you're going to have to – because it could end up being the Colts are able to get Chubb at 6. And that's who they've been projected to take the whole time.
I'm going to tell you something, though, bud. And I know that this is going to shock some people, and I get it. Obviously, it would be an upgrade from him. But if I'm looking at things from the GM standpoint, I'm happy with having Ogba on one side of that thing to go along with Garrett. Okay? And I think at the end of the day, I think they're going nose. I think that I think we're about to have another piece of nose because what I understand, I think we got rid of Danny.
Yes, he was traded.
After
Danny Shelton was traded.
Yeah. So,
well, Vita Vea would make sense then, and you could get Vita Vea later on. You could get him later on. 10 anywhere from that 10 to 15 range. I think you could still get Vita Vea in that. That's still a possibility. I will tell you this, and the other reason why I brought up my Bears in the 4 and the love affair with Bradley Chubb is every year that Ryan Pace has been the GM of the Bears, he's traded up.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, it's there. It's there for a lot of people. I'll tell you, the real thing that's in the catbird seat right now has got to be the Eagles. Come on. Anybody, when this draft is over or somewhere before, I don't know if it's going to happen before, during, or after, but at some point in there, it's going to happen. And somebody's going to give the Eagles a pile for Nick Foles. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that 2-year contract they signed him to was like one of the gifts from the golden gods.
Mm-hmm.
That they're able to use him they're able to use him for trading. So anyway,
I've heard that asking price is pretty high, Preston. I've heard that asking price is starting in the range of 2 number ones.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Somebody better get their butts on in there and somebody just needs to get their butts on in there and go. Okay. I mean, because I think Nick Foles, the only problem that there ever was with Nick Foles was because he had to deal with Jeff Fisher as a coach. Okay? Any other time in his career, he's been fantastic.
Yeah.
That's it. I think he's got to go to the right situation. Obviously, somebody who actually can take care of a quarterback. But when the guys had decent coaches around him, he's there. And and the last thing I've got for today is the scariest thing. It has nothing to do with my team, but it's what we all need to really watch out for. Every player in the universe is wanting to go play for Wade Phillips. They want to go play for Uncle Wade. Okay?
Yeah.
And the Los Angeles Rams are starting to look like murderers frickin' row in that defense. Most especially if they get Ndamukong to go along in it. They don't need a locker room guy. They need another killer. Well, guess what? He ain't a locker room guy. He's just another killer, and he'll do his job.
You better put a Hannibal Lecter mask on him.
Oh, that's right. Don't let him bite nobody. But anyway, I'm just telling you that's a scary, scary, scary proposition for the rest of the West right now. But anyway, it is what it is. But you guys have a very good day, man, and I appreciate it. And I'm going to be on the road today, by the way, Joel, so we'll try to schedule a late lunch some other time, all right?
All right, brother man.
All right, be good. See you.
That's our man, Preston. We talked a lot of NFL draft there, so there's the NFL talk we were talking about. I mean, I'm pretty sure we've hit the gauntlet. I mean, we've talked pretty much everything. I mean, obviously, one of the things that I did want to mention, I mentioned it to start the show off today on this Who Better Wednesday, is the NCAA tournament does get back underway tomorrow. You look at the Thursday, Friday matchups. You've got 4 matchups each day. Tomorrow, if I was to pick maybe the one game that intrigues me tomorrow, the small school side of me picks the Loyola-Nevada matchup. I mean, one of those teams are going to the Elite Eight.
Right.
Let that sink in. Loyola Chicago or Nevada are going to the Elite Eight. A 29-win team, a 30-win team. Loyola, Chicago, Nevada. One of those teams are going to the Elite Eight. So that, of course, intrigues me for tomorrow. You've got A&M, Michigan. You've got Kansas State, Kentucky. You've got Florida State, Gonzaga. That's tomorrow. And then, of course, Friday's matchups, Clemson and Kansas, West Virginia, Villanova, Syracuse, Duke, Texas Tech, Purdue, a 2-3 matchup. Chris Beard, another. You've got 2 former UALR coaches in the Sweet 16 right now.
Go figure.
Chris Beard and Porter Moser, 2 UALR former head coaches in the Sweet 16. Gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Gotta be kidding me. Well, we have completely skipped breaks today, but I get it. Everybody knows this is our last show of the week, so we're off Thursday and Friday, so you guys remember we'll be back on Monday, ready and raring to go. But don't forget our $6 lunch special tomorrow at 1812 Pizza Company right there on Ray Street. You can dine in, delivery, or carry out. Only $6. Your choice of 3 different sandwiches, chips, and a drink, or 3 different one-topping, lunch-size, 9-inch pizzas and a drink for only $6 plus tax. It's still going on, 10:30 to 2 tomorrow. So you can still take advantage of that tomorrow while we are not on the air. And so anyway, all right, we're going to hit one final break. When we come back, we got a lot to get done in a short amount of time. When we skip breaks, we still got to get things done. And so we've got coming up next, we're going to try to get 5 random facts on this Wednesday, brought to you by OnQ Property Management, trying to get that in. And then also a little By the Numbers brought to you by International Tours of Jonesboro. And damn and really brought to you by the Stanley and Woodard Law Firm. Quick break, a little heart.
I've been lonely, I've been waiting for you, I'm pretending, and that's all I can do. The love I'm sending ain't making it through to your heart. You've been hiding, never letting it show, always trying to keep it under control. You got it down, and you're well on your way to the top. But there's something that you forgot. What about love? Don't you want someone to care about you?
This segment is brought to you by United Pawnbrokers, 701 South G Street. Owners Dale and Amy Barber buy and sell new and used firearms, ammo and accessories, tools, electronics, guitars, jewelry, and pay top dollar for your gold and silver. United Pawnbrokers, the best little pawn shop in town.
Changes everywhere, even in the auto body industry. Stadium Auto Body is changing with the industry to adapt to deliver you excellent quality repairs, superior customer service, and a quick turnaround time start to finish. Stadium Auto Body gets you back on the road fast. Stadium Auto Body on Stadium Boulevard in Jonesboro and Highway 49 North in Paragould.
Stadium Auto Body, take care of you.
Attention, members and guests. Oh yeah, love that horn and love that song. A-State must have scored again. That's what you'll hear when you're at J-Town's Grill. If you listen to the Red Wolf Roll Call Radio Network, we constantly talk about food and where to eat. One of our favorite places is located right across the street from Centennial Bank Stadium and just a few blocks from Tomlinson Kell and the Convocation Center. Start your meal with a wide selection of appetizers, and then comes your hardest part, choosing from one of the many selections from their menu. Chicken, burgers, pork, turkey, ham, shrimp, fish. J-Town's has something for everyone. The food, it's delicious, and the staff, they're wonderful. J-Town's Grill is the place to be every day. And remember, start your game day early and finish your game day late at J-Town's Grill. J-Town's Grill, 2610 East Johnson, right across the street from Centennial Bank Stadium. Give them a call today, 870-275-6514.
For nearly 10 years now, at the corner of Glenwood and Southwest Drive, Garehan Dental Care has been in the business of you. At Garehan Dental Care, it's their priority to deliver quality care to informed patients in a comfortable and convenient setting. An alumnus of Jonesboro High School, Arkansas State, and the University of Tennessee College of Dentistry, Dr. Emily Garehan cares about you. To take care of you, Dr. Garehan strives to stay ahead of the curve with the newest technology available for dental practices. Whether it's general dentistry to children or adults, Garehan Dental Care performs root canals, extractions, crowns, bridges, veneers, white composite fillings, dentures, and partials. They also offer Invisalign, a clear alternative to traditional metal braces. Plus, they offer different levels of teeth whitening, from easy at-home bleaching to more involved office procedures. Garehan Dental Care is always accepting new patients, and every day they're making more happy yous. You deserve the best because there's only one of you, and you only have one smile for a lifetime. Let Garehan Dental Care make you a happy you. Garehan Dental Care on Facebook, Twitter, and at GarehanDentalCare.com. Garehan Dental Care, 460 Southwest Drive. Call them at 870-931-1100. They're open Monday through Wednesday, 8:30 to 5, Thursdays, 7 to 3. Just for you. Teamwork, the combined effort of a group of people, especially when effective and efficient. That definition applies to Stanley & Woodard Law Firm. Dedicated to a process, dedicated to excellence, dedicated to quality, dedicated to an oath. Bill Stanley and Jared Woodard are dedicated to those ideas. ASU alum, ASU letterman, they understand teamwork, combining their efforts to find justice for you, never taking shortcuts. Stop getting the runaround and start getting results. Whether you're looking for representation regarding personal injury, civil litigation, DWI, DWI, criminal defense, wrongful death, or nursing home abuse or negligence. You won't find better representation in the greater Jonesboro area. With a combined 35 years practicing law, Stanley & Woodard Law Firm delivers the respect you deserve. Stop the frustration. Start the process today. To make an appointment, go by Stanley & Woodard Law offices at 326 South Church Street, or give them a call 932-2000. 932-2000. Or log on to stanleywoodard.com. Respect, results, relief. That's the Stanley & Woodard Law Firm. Get everything you need to make your tailgate a hit at the Party Store. The Party Store, just 10 minutes from the Convo and 10 minutes from Tailgate City. The Party Store, your tailgating headquarters in Northeast Arkansas. Make your run the right one. The Party Store, right on the Craighead-Greene County line on Highway 49. The Party Store, with a wide selection of domestic and imported beers. One of the largest wine selections in the area, and every type of spirit to make your next party spirited. So whether you're grilling out on the deck or throwing the mother of all tailgates, make it the Party Store. Right now at the Party Store, get Jack Daniels, the half-gallon gift set, $20.99. 30 packs of Bud Light, Coors, Miller Lite, $2 off. And Trace Agave Tequila Margarita Kit, $24.29, a $32.29 value. The Party Store is your tailgating headquarters in Northeast Arkansas. Get everything you need to make your tailgate a hit at the Party Store today.
And now, back to Red Wolf Roll Call Radio with JC and Uncle Walls. Fueled by Flash Market, live from the Stadium Auto Body Collision Center studios, right here on ESPN Jonesboro 92.7. Well, this Who Better Wednesday coming to an end. Little Fleetwood Mac, a little heart.
Yes.
And this is our Friday. We'll be off air the next 2 days, so it's a little programming note for you. We'll be back on Monday. Ready and raring to roll right before spring football starts at Arkansas State on Tuesday, the 27th. So we'll be back on Monday. Ready to get after it. Got to get some stuff done behind the scenes here before all that kicks off and gets crazy on us again. So we got stuff we got to get done behind the scenes, even though people think we work 2 hours a day. But anyway, back in action hotline 870-330-0927. Superior Lawn Service text line 870-372-RWRC. That's 7972. And as always, you can reach us all across that Rhino Car Wash social media sideline, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. One final look at today's Calmer Solutions hot topic of the day. AState football has added Michigan to the 2020 schedule. Which one of these historical stadiums would you like to see AState football visit next? Notre Dame, Florida State, Ohio State, or Wisconsin? It's a runaway right now. The Golden Domers of Notre Dame is who everybody would like to see Arkansas State up with next.
There you go.
In non-conference play, our man Toby Stoker, Ace of Blades, he just chimed in. Said the same thing. A little Notre Dame from him. So there you go. Well, Walls, we got to do this quickly, quick, fast, and in a hurry. We got to get ready to do 5 random facts on this Wednesday. Brought to you by OnQ Property Management. You own it. We operate it. And I tell you what, property owners out there, if you're looking for someone to take that onus off your shoulders, you own it. They operate the properties for you from from application process all the way on through to move in and move out and collections and everything in between. That's OnQ Property Management. You can find them online at onQ with the letter S.com. And, of course, you can give them a call today and set up a free consultation. It will not cost you a dime. Give them a call, 870-520-6468. That is OnQ Property Management, proud sponsor of 5 Random Facts on this Wednesday.
Cinco hijos aleatorios.
Number 5.
Numero cinco.
Big Bird almost died in space.
Really?
Yes. Carol Spinney, the puppeteer who plays Big Bird, was invited to fly on the Challenger.
Whoa.
As Big Bird.
Whoa.
To get more kids interested in NASA.
Whoa.
But the costume couldn't fit, so he didn't go.
Whoa.
Could you imagine how much more tragic that event would have been?
Goodness.
I watched it live as a kid in person outside in the sky when the Challenger exploded. Could you imagine if Big Bird had been on that flight? Kids would have really been scarred.
Freaked out.
Number 4.
Numero cuatro.
Random fact on this Wednesday.
Cuatro.
Costco's $1.50 hot dog and soda combo is so popular that Costco's around the country serve 100 million hot dogs a year. That's 4 times more hot dogs than all of Major League Baseball stadiums combined.
There you go.
And I can tell you, Sam's does the same special, and it is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It is awesome. It's a Nathan hot dog and a drink for $1.50.
Yep.
It's a great lunch.
Oh, it is.
Number 3.
Numero tres.
Otis Redding,
Yes.
one of my favorites of all time,
Yes.
wrote the song Respect in 1965 and released a version 2 years before Aretha Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
But his version focused on a man who wanted respect, and respect was a euphemism for dun 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 the business, the bedroom loving. That's what Otis Redding was talking about. Completely different than what Aretha was talking about.
Yeah.
Or was it? Come on, Aretha. Number 2.
Numero dos.
Random fact on this Wednesday.
Dos.
The hardest languages for English speakers to learn are, in Uncle Wall's case, it's hard enough for him to learn English. Arabic, Chinese, Japanese, and Korean.
And don't forget Southernese.
Yes, and
I
in
think.
Uncle Wall's case, Spanglish. And then finally, the number 1 random fact on this Wednesday.
Uno.
The technical term for burp is Uncle Wall's. No, the technical term for burp is eruction.
Eruction.
Not to be confused with erection. Eruction. Yes. Can you imagine?
I sound like I'm at a Japanese restaurant.
Yes.
Eruction.
Yes. I just had eruction. But that is your 5 random facts on this Wednesday.
Beef and broccoli.
Brought to you by On Cue Property Management. There you go. Well, Walls, are you ready for a little By the Numbers?
Yes.
By the Numbers, brought to you by International Tours of Jonesboro. Just go to their website today, inttours.com. Plan your next getaway, summer vacation. Maybe some of you need a honeymoon. You can do it all right there, but you can do it with the assistance of their travel professionals. That's inttours.com, proud sponsor of By the Numbers.
Red Wolf Roll Call Radio Network. Time now for By the Numbers. By the Numbers is exhibition, not competition. Please, no wagering. If you do have a gambling problem, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Alrighty, from the home office in Decatur, Alabama, this is today's By the Numbers. I'm going to talk some A-State baseball. They take on the Missouri Tigers tonight, or this afternoon, matter of fact, at 4 o'clock. You can catch all of that action on the SEC Network Plus channel. And I don't know what channel that is on Southernlink, but just check your listings for that game for this afternoon.
There you go. That is By the Numbers, brought to you by International Tours of Jonesboro. Go to inttours.com and book that getaway today. All right. And let's see. Got to get one song queued up here so that we can get ready to get up out of here on time. And we'll get into Damn Man Really right now, brought to you by the Stanley & Woodard Law Firm, 326 South Church Street, right here in downtown Jonesboro. If you are looking for legal representation in the areas of personal injury, nursing home neglect and injury, criminal defense, or civil litigation, pick up the phone, dial 870-932-2000, or go to their website, StanleyWoodard.com. Respect, results, relief. That is the Stanley & Woodard Law Firm. And here you go, quickly. A guy in Orlando was running from the Popos on Sunday after he tried to steal a car, as he happened to run past an unlocked bicycle. He was running from the police, but instead of jumping on the bicycle to get away, guess what he did? He picked up the bicycle and threw it at the cops instead of trying to get away on it. When he realized they were still on his heels, he jumped in a lake to hide from them, but a police helicopter found him and the cops took him into custody. After that, they were in a boat. He jumped back in the waters while in handcuffs. Luckily, they were able to pull him out so he didn't drown. It's not clear what charges he'll be facing, but damn, man, really get on that bicycle.
Jumped in a lake in Florida.
There you go. We got to get out of here for Uncle Walls. I'm JC. If you're going to do it right. If you do it right, do it twice. Y'all take care. God bless. Walls.
Goodbye.
We top flight security of the world, Craig.
Hallelujah, holla back.